Got a fun one for you today. It's Pickem Thursday, so you know what that means. We got picks to go over. We got some NFL bets to talk about. We got some college bets to talk about. I think said I would talk about the college football playoffs as well, so we will bring that up when I talk about college football because, yeah, it's that time, man. We got like 3 weeks left, I think, till like conference championship week, and then we got some bowl. It's heating up, man. We're already at the Colts-Vikings game was the halfway point in the NFL season. Wow. Just flying by. I don't think I need to go into it any further. I don't think we need to waste any more time. We know why we're here. Big old Thursday, baby. So, on a Wednesday, because I forgot, pick 'em Thursday on a Wednesday. Let's hop over to that board. So, like I said, this is what we got for the, I do this every week. We're going to go group picks first before we go to the overview. As you can see, not a bad week from your boy. It just sucks because a lot of the people I want to pass are like 1, 2, 3, 4 points behind me, not doing. So, I mean, we didn't gain a lot of points. Big one that sucked was not picking Tennessee. I mean, obviously that would have helped. Saints losing just sucked. I'll be honest. Saints losing fucked me. Absolutely fucked me this week. That's the only pick I would change. I'd potentially maybe even flip this with it's just tough, man. I don't know what I'd flip it with. I mean, looking back at the Atlanta game, probably that game potentially. Maybe the Chargers game I probably should have done. But yeah, it sucks because, like I said, I had a great week, but some people were behind me. We had the third, I think, overall best picked records-wise. We're just missing points, which sucks because, if it was just based on pick records, Mel would probably be in first with 97 and 41. But, shit, 93 and 4. So, damn, my grandpa, too, shout out. But, then you see me, 93, 45. That's pretty good. So, yeah, it's just frustrating because we've just been missing out on a few. The fact that, look, 93. It just shows you how the variance with the points really matters. Danny and I have the same amount of picks, and I'm this many points behind him. And then he has 4 better picks than me, and I'm only 9 behind him. This is going to be a tight race towards the end. Each week, like I said, the fact that we're already at the halfway point now, and I've just been down in the dumps down here. Wow, we need a big week, man. And with how wild this week potentially might be, this could be the week. So hopping in. Baltimore, Cincinnati. We're going to take Baltimore here just for the fact they've been so dominant. I'll get more of my breakdowns when we head over to the bet side of it, but I'll bring up tad bits here and there, obviously. We'll do kind of a split breakdown. I have to take the Giants here. Won't be shocked Carolina wins this game, but I don't think they should. Bryce Young did look pretty good last week, though. Your boy has Xavier Legette and Jonathan Brooks in fantasy. I'm excited to see Jonathan Brooks coming off IR. Curious to see how they're going to use him, especially, obviously, for the fantasy aspect. So this is going to be probably the only reason I get up to watch this game is because I have some fancy players I'm actually going to have playing, and I'm a league neighbor, so shit, looks like your boy waking up to watch this horrible football game. Chicago, New England, after last week's debacle, I'm going to put a low number on this, I can tell you right now, but I kind of lean. I think Drake may look pretty good, but I think they might have bigger goals in mind when it comes to losing. Buffalo, Indy, boy's breaking my heart, man. Kansas City, Denver, until Kansas City loses, there's no reason not to pick them. Let's be real. Atlanta, New Orleans. This is the first game where picking and betting might go different. I'm pretty sure New Orleans are a good amount, good number dog. I can't remember because, honestly, in my head right now, I'm listening to Rowan's teaser. Shout out to my boy Rowan. Gave out his 10-leg teaser this morning on his show. And I got that number in my head, and I can't remember the actual number. But probably going to bet New Orleans because new head coach theory. You know how that, I don't think there's a better way to explain it. I don't think there's need to explain it, but I will just in case. New coach theory. That's good. It basically goes around. You get a new coach. There's a 1-game boost in morale. It's like Mike's secret stuff. For 1 game, you're usually on 1 game only. The boys come out absolutely juiced, ready to go, ball out, play really well, and then after that, it goes downhill pretty quick. Doesn't go big. Look no further than Jeff Saturday with the Colts. Come out, look good, beat the Raiders. That team didn't look too good after. So, new coach theory has me thinking New Orleans might win, but we're just going to pick Atlanta. They're pretty damn good, I will admit. And the fact that New Orleans lost to the Panthers last week ain't going to catch me taking them. San Fran Bucks. This is going to be a tough game. I'm going to go San Fran here, but I'm not going to be shocked if Tampa Bay wins. This might be another low pointer for me. Tampa Bay took the Chiefs to their limit. So, the fact that they were able to do that on the road even as well, I very much lean Tampa Bay, but the fact that CMC's probably coming back. So, I think that gives, all of a sudden, that makes you think that, yeah, probably not going to be the same 49ers teams we've seen the last few weeks. Washington, Pittsburgh, fun game. This is going to be a fun game. That's going to be a really fun game. Minnesota, Jacksonville. No chance I take Jacksonville there. I'm going to be really disappointed if the Vikings lose this game. I don't think they should. That number might end up changing as well, by the way. Who's on bye? Do they have it? They do not. How many points do we got? We got, just 4 teams on bye. That's not too bad. We'll talk about that when we get to the betting portion, since obviously it doesn't matter for the picks portion. Chargers, Tennessee. Chargers all day. So far, this is going to be my highest point game, but that's probably a good chance it changes. Tennessee's pretty bad. I think they got one of their few wins last week. I mean, especially with the way the Chargers looked against Cleveland as well. If they're going to have a pass game like that, and not Joe Burrow. Justin Herbert's going to have the moxie. I mean, you already know I'm all in on Harbaugh. I mean, he won us so much money last year with Michigan in the national title game, which was awesome. And it was awesome, too. I bought this shirt. If you remember, if you're a follower of the show, I think it was that same season, actually. Yeah, we took the Chargers with... No, maybe it's the year before. So this might have been 2 years ago. We took Chargers to win. My Colts were eliminated from playoff no contention. So we picked a team to root for. And I'm like, you know what? We're going to go with the Chargers. I want to root for Justin Herbert. It's going to be fun. This is when Brandon Staley was coaching still. So I think this was 2 years ago. And that's the game where the Chargers blew the playoff lead to the Jaguars. So I literally looked at this shirt like, damn, I'm never going to be able to pull this out again. And Harbaugh has completely flipped around the culture. I mean, Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack. And if you got vets like those guys that are instantly just buying into the culture, instantly doing it, I mean, that's hard for you to be like, I don't think I want to do it. I mean, they're going to be great, man. That's going to be awesome. Jets, Cardinals. You know what? This is going to be the one weird one I do. I think the Jets win that game. I think they might have found something last game that might get some momentum going. I mean, I know. Just trying to think. The Texans' offense looked bad in some points. I mean, C.J. Stroud didn't play the best, and I mean, I think that there's a chance this defense could get to Kyler a little bit. In Arizona, gonna be a tough one. Arizona looked really good last week too, so this is gonna be a tough one. But I mean, as you see, we picked all favorites so far in the pick'em part, so I gotta pick. I feel like I gotta take a dog here. There's somewhere Detroit, Houston. Handicap in a horrible way. If Houston can't beat the Jets, how are they going to beat Detroit? In general, though, my actual way of handicap this is Detroit's just a good team. They're another one of those teams. Until they prove to me that they're going to lose, we're just going to keep taking them. Who did they lose to this year? I actually can't remember. Who did they lose to? I truly can't remember. Wow, I'm pulling up their schedule right now. Buccaneers 2016. I totally forgot about that game. Wow. Yeah, talk about... I totally forgot. That game was week 2. Yeah, give me the line. I totally forgot. I just couldn't remember who they lost to. Man, that makes me rethink the San Francisco game a little bit. Yeah, that game, where's that at? That's going to be a low number for damn sure. And then Rams, Miami. I got to take Rams here just because Man, I don't know. That's going to be a tough one. That's actually going to be tough. I could see the Rams easily losing that game. I mean, they damn near lost to the Seahawks. But regardless, I think we'll stick with that. Who's going to score the most this week? Let's see. What's the biggest discrepancy? Chargers, Titans. We'll go Titans are going to score the least this week. And then who's going to score the most? Probably Baltimore Cincinnati is going to have to be a high-scoring game just because of how Baltimore's defense. One of the worst defenses against the pass. So, as a man who has Jamar Chase in fantasy, kind of nice. Hoping for a big game from him. But, yeah, most points-wise. Do we go in with Mr. Walk in your trap, take over your trap? New coach theory. We can't do that. That's a very good point, Jaden. We'll just go Baltimore. I think it's just for the simple fact that I think it's just going to be a high-scoring game. But, yeah, now we're going to start messing around with the points a little bit. So, I think Chargers and Tennessee have to be my highest. I mean, I just don't know where else I would. Buffalo, Indy. We're going to come back to that game. I mean, there's realistically no... I'm not going to say that, but... We'll go 12-11. I might put my... I just don't think Philly should lose to Dallas, especially with... I mean, Dak's not playing. If If they lose this game, I mean, screw it. We're just not going to win any picks this year, huh? I just don't see how Philadelphia should lose that game, especially, I mean, man, if Dak was in there, I'd be a lot more nervous about this game. The fact there's no Dak makes me think, like, okay, the Cowboys, unless they just all of a sudden flip a switch from what they were last week, I just don't see how they beat the Eagles team unless you don't take your fucking points, Sirianni. I forgot to say it one more time yesterday. Man, I don't know. This is tough. Probably just go Kansas City with my 12. I mean, why not? They've been playing really good. I'm just going to continue putting a high... What point was I... you know what? We'll actually do this. We'll flip this one just because I was a little bit nervous about that. Feel a lot better about that now. So now we got 1 through... Who do I want to put my 1 on? I actually might put my 1 on the Jets just because that's the toss-up game. We'll put my 2... Tempted to go new coach theory game, but that might... I won't lie. We might actually put it on the new coach theory game. We'll go... Chicago. Maybe we'll put on Chicago, actually. I don't mind that. Okay, so we got 6 through 10 now. So 10 we'll probably do... Oh, we don't got any home teams. That's tough. Might have to move around some numbers real quick. Because I'm trying to find a... Ooh, we'll put a 6 on Washington, 7 on Atlanta, 8 on them, 10 on Buffalo, 9 on Buffalo. We'll go 8 here. I won't lie to you. I actually think I'm kind of okay with that. So if we're going to do that, if that's... Alright, this thing going to keep doing that. Thank you. Quit moving. Okay, so this is what we got for the picks for the week. One I'm probably the most confident in. Chiefs, because they haven't lost a game yet. I feel like that one kind of speaks for itself. Who did I put my 14 on again? Chargers against Tennessee. Feel pretty good about that one. I don't... Man, if the Chargers lose that game, I'm going to be pretty pissed. So I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be pretty pissed. Yeah, that ain't going to be a good one. Least confident in. Giants is going to be a tough one. I mean, there's no reason. I mean, the fact that the Panthers won a game now has me like, oh shit, maybe they are a little bit better. Maybe I should raise that a slight bit. Baltimore, that's going to be a fun game to watch this weekend. I might raise that a bit. Is there any other games I feel nervous about? Maybe, yeah, we might tinker a little bit. No. If anything, because I was thinking about doing this. I was thinking about making that a 5. Yeah, let's not. Because I like everything how it is. I don't want to mess with any numbers too much. Especially because numbers have been killing us this week. So my gut instincts kind of tell me to go here with the numbers. So we're going to leave the numbers here. Final look at it. This is what we're going for the week, like I said. Overall, when it comes to the season, quick look back at this. Our goal probably want to get in I think 6th place might be doable. So I want to gain basically, what is that? I want to gain 11 points on my grandfather, and who's King Michael in 6th place. And then I for sure want to pass my uncle, who's no clue. Who's no chance, Charlie? Shit. I forgot who that is. That's either my aunt or my uncle. Oh, no, that's not my aunt. I can't remember who that is. I'm not going to spend time on. I think that's actually one of my aunts. My other aunt. But no, I like it. If we can get past my grandfather, if we can gain about 9 to 10 points on him, I'll feel great. Like I said, the closer, we just need to, what is that, 62, 72, 82, 92, 02, 12. About 60 behind Danny, with basically how many weeks are left. We basically, if we gain about 10 points on him every single week, we'll feel good. If we don't, it's gonna start getting to that point where it's like, damn, first place might not be in question. But biggest thing is we just need Danny to have a bad week. He hasn't had a horrible week yet. I mean, just looking at his weeks, I mean, look at this. Love my boy to death, but I mean, look at these numbers, man. Oh my goodness, it's the numbers. He's gotten saved with a lot of these numbers. So, like I said, really excited. Can't wait for the games this week. Going to be a lot of fun one. I'll see everybody back on the gridiron. Now back to the gridiron. Time to go over some NFL games, finish my breakdown, finish some bets. Going to be a fun one. Don't forget, Amon-Ra St. Brown going to beat a franchise record. I want to say this in case I forget it. He's tied franchise record 6 touchdowns. 7th one breaks it. Keep that in mind in case I forget. Okay, moving on. And by moving on, I mean to begin. Thursday Night Football. Bengals, 6.5-point dogs to the Ravens. I actually think they might be able to keep this game close. With how good Baltimore's been playing, probably going to stay away from the... I'm probably going to tease... If anything, I'm going to tease Bengals to get them to, like, around 12... What is that, 12-ish? 13-ish? Also, shout out my dogs for barking. You know, the dogs are barking, huh? Bengals money line? No, like I said, I'm going to probably wait to see this live, maybe get the Ravens at a better number, if anything. I just can't decide. Like I said, I can't decide. I'm going to tease the Bengals regardless to get it to keep, so just basically have these teams keep it within single digits. But past that, it's hard to pick a side, man. Truly hard to pick a side. I think either of these teams could really win. Over under 53.5. What was their last game? I want to say this is going to be about like a 24. I think it's going to be eerily similar to what the Chiefs Bucks were on Monday Night Football. Yes, let me look up the Bengals score real quick from last week. Cool. It would be cool if this would. I can't spell. Or not. Bengals, so they dropped 41 last week. Joe Burrow, amazing game. When they played the Ravens, it was 41-38. Ooh. I forgot how much of a nail biter that was. Yeah, give me the... We're going to write in red. We might take Bengals 6.5 just to have some action on, but I do try to preach responsible gambling, so maybe I shouldn't try to force a 6.5, nor are we going to tease them. But I forgot about that. Now looking at these games, Dave Flowers had the big game last time they played. Mark Andrews, I don't think, really played. Yeah, Jamar Chase, insane game with T. Higgins. Yeah, I kind of remember this game now. Okay. So like I said, we're going to go back to now looking at anytime touchdown scores real quick. Derrick Henry minus 290, Jamar Chase minus 128. I'm going to take both of those. I might even take Henry 2 times TD, but we'll just leave it at the single TD for right now. I know the odds are, by the way, I know the odds are horrible, but I'm not being promoted by them, so I'm not going to say the name, but Dan Fuel has they got a few boosts to give out, so I might try to use that on Derrick Henry at some point just to get his stuff better. Jamar Chase, like I said, is minus 128. So I'm going to be looking for both those guys to score. I'm assuming T. Higgins is not going to play because of his injury, so look out for Mike Gesicki. That's going to be somebody's stats I'm looking on. He had a monster game last week. And I'm going to look for a lot of receiving props this game because, like I said, the Ravens have been giving up a lot of receiving stuff. You got Jamar Chase at over 79.5. Probably going to take that. So we're going to do the Chase. Rec over 79.5. Looking at that. We're looking at the G-Man. Shout out to my fantasy footballer boys. Sticky Gesicki. I do like that nickname. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of growing on me a little bit. We're going to look for Gesicki to go over 50 yards. He's at 49.5. I kind of like that number. I mean, like I said, this can be very similar to how, I think I don't think he's going to put up Cade Otton numbers like what Cade Otton was doing, but I think he's going to definitely for sure get a few passes. So, the fact it's only 49.5, I like for Pitt. The only thing that scares me, I didn't want to bring this up though. The only thing that scares me is last week he went off and went nuclear, and you see those stats, but he's only on the field for, I think it was 37% of snaps. That part is very concerning because if he's only on the field 37% of snaps, it's literally like, all right, you got to catch the ball every time you're on the field or you're going to have us stressing out. Jamar Chase over 6.5 receptions. We might do that again. All right, I got to stop them. Hold on. But yeah, we also, Jamar Chase over 6.5 receptions again. We're going to do that. Chase over 6.5 receptions. Looking at some of these other names, Chase Brown over 3.5 might not be bad. He should be the only running back that's going to get a lot of snaps for them until they get Khalil Herbert situated. Andre Yosivas, 2.5. That feels way too low. We're going to see. That might have to change. Last time they played the Rave. Oh, maybe not then. Never mind. I thought he got a lot more receptions than that. He really does not. Yeah, he's only had... Yeah, we aren't going to take that. Never mind. So we're probably just going to stick with some of the Jamar Chase stuff. So, like Henry touchdown, Jamar Chase touchdown, Chase receiving over, Chase reception over, Mike Gesicki over 49.5 receiving yards. And past that, we might not do anything else because I really don't know. Like Deontay Johnson over 21.5. I don't know how much he's going to get involved. Zay Flowers over 59.5. The only reason I want to stay away is Lamar. If I'm going to take anybody, I am probably going to bet Zay's, but Lamar's been spreading it out a lot more. So this is the Ravens are one of those teams. They have so many good players. Like you got to damn near watch them live and be like, all right, whose game is this? It's like how the Chiefs kind of used to be before DeAndre Hopkins. Now that they have DeAndre Hopkins, him and Hunt might be automatic every single time, but past that, I mean, even then, you kind of have to watch live, be like, all right, this is who he's going to a lot more. All right, Mahomes is going to Travis Kelce a lot today, so we're going to see him. Oh, Justin Gray's getting a few receptions. He might be a good one. So that's what we're going to probably have to do for a lot of the rest of this game. Lamar Jackson over 1.5 passing touchdowns, minus 120. Love that. Joe Burrow over minus 1.5 passing touchdowns. Love that, minus 146. So, I mean, why not? I think this is going to be a high-scoring game again. I think it's going to be about 31. I think it's going to be probably like 31-28 around that score range. I don't know. Like I said, don't know who's really going to win for sure, but I like watching this game. This is going to be a fun Thursday night game to watch. But like I said, I think I lean Bengals 6.5. I don't know, though. We'll have to hold off. Giants 6.5 point favorites over the Panthers. That feels like a lot of points. I'm not going to bet on the... Wow. I about just gave out the bet on the Panthers. I held off. Bryce Young over 1.5 passing touchdowns, minus 156. That feels a bit. I will do that, though. Even if because he can even get a garbage one. As long as he stays in the game, I like his chances to get that number. And I mean, like I said, this is another one. I mean, maybe we'll get I'm assuming we will get probably a boost to use for that game, and over 1.5 passing touchdown, get like a 30 or 40% boost, get that down to like minus 113, minus 120, and then it's like, okay, if he literally throws one passing touchdown, we'll be sitting pretty. Obviously, there's no props out yet for this game. I'm going to be curious to watch. We already talked about it a little bit in the pick section. I'm going to be curious to watch how Jonathan Brooks performs in his game back, see how many carries he gets. We got some movement on the over-under in the Colts-Bills game. Interesting. But yeah, I'm going to be curious to see how that goes. Xavier Legette, probably going to be on some of his props. Probably going to be on some Malik Neighbors props. Probably take Tyrone Tracy to score. Maybe take some receiving stuff for him. But past that, I don't really plan on betting on this game too much. Let's be real. We don't. Only reason I'm giving out some stuff is it's going to be the Sunday 9:30 game. Obviously, I'm going to bet some things. But yeah, past Bryce Young a passing touchdown and Xavier Legette stuff. I probably shouldn't touch this game. Patriots 6.5 point. Man, 6.5 is a common number this week. 6.5 point dogs to the Bears. That might be another. I might tease. Patriots might be out as the teaser. We'll think about that. Probably not going to bet on them though. But 6.5. We're going to write it in red. Just for the simple fact that, I mean, maybe Drake Young can keep it close. I don't know how the Bears are feeling behind Matt Eberflus totally. So that's just going to be, keep an eye on that game. That might be worth taking. Might take Drake Mays rushing over if it's lower than 20. If it's lower than like 16, 17 yards, I'm probably going to take Drake Mays rushing over. Just for the simple fact that boy likes to scoot a little bit and the line is horrible. Past that, that's another game I probably shouldn't be betting too much on because, yeah, Bears, Patriots. Probably should stay. Probably take Ramondre Stevenson to score again, assuming they get in the goal line. Past that, maybe Hunter Henry to score as well. That might also be Hunter Henry, Cole Kmet. Those are going to be two names I look out for. So we're going to put, I'm just going to write it down. Henry and Kmet. This whole game's in red. Like, there's a good chance I probably just don't even bet this game at all. Probably should end up staying away. Colts, 4.5 point dogs to the Bills. Give me the Colts plus 4.5 because I'm a fan. That's basically about it. I'm fucking sick of this team, damn near. This seems frustrating, man. This team is pretty frustrating. I don't need to go over it more than I did on Tuesday, but basically the best way to put it, this team just can never seem to get all sides of the ball rolling at the same time. It's either 2 of 3 or 1 of 3. Joe Flacco starting again. I'm going to be taking a lot of Jonathan Taylor props for the Bills. The Bills run defense isn't the best, so we're going to maybe take some JT rushing stuff, and then we'll probably take maybe a Jonathan Taylor touchdown as well. That'll probably be another sprinkle I do as Well, passing-wise, Michael Pittman looks like he's going to be hurt, so we might do some Josh Downs. I don't know. The Colts put up their worst offensive performance this season last week with Joe Flacco, so I obviously think they're going to bounce back a little bit, but I know, yet again, it was against a really good defense as well, so I'm not putting it all totally on them. It's just, I don't know, man. This Colts, I haven't been able to figure out this Colts offense all year. Besides Josh Downs and Pittman, Pittman's hurt, so I can't really don't want to take a lot of his stuff. Besides Josh Downs, I can't figure out who's going to consistently show up for the Colts on a weekly basis. So, yeah, Adonai Mitchell about has the same receiving. I thought Adonai Mitchell's been frustrating because it's like, man, this guy's open, and every time he is open, or I feel like he's gotten 15 end zone shots this year and hasn't caught a single one. Bet on him a lot. That part's frustrating. Molly Cox, bet on him. He doesn't get a ball his whole way the whole game. That's frustrating. I mean, it's just... Jonathan Taylor's not in on some of the most important downs of the game. So, yeah, we're going to focus on, like I said, we're going to focus on JT probably. Maybe take Joe Flacco over 1.5 passing touchdowns. But, yeah, we're betting Colts. Bills are probably going to spank the shit out of them. But the only reason I think Colts do have a chance to keep this close is because they are fighting for the playoff livelihood. But, yeah. I know most people probably just skip through that shit and be like, all right, where's the next team? Because, yeah. I'm giving out Colts plus 4.5. Don't recommend taking it. Some JT stats, though, that stuff, or JT props, that might go right. Vikings, 4.5-point favorites over the Jaguars. I am going to take this, even though this feels eerily similar to what the Packs did. But Jordan Love was hurt in that game, so hopefully that makes this game a little bit different. I'm going to take that. Probably take some... Don't want to take some Justin Jefferson stuff. We're for sure going to take him to score, and I might do some, like, receiving props as well. We're going to look at Evan Ingram for the Jaguars if we take anything there. But for the most part, I'm probably going to start... I think the goal is I'm going to try to start lightening back on the props and trying to, like, end touchdown scores. I'm going to start trying to snipe a little bit more because it's like every week I give out, I swear, like 10 to 12 touchdown scores. We go 6-6. And then I'll, on my own, watch these games live, go pretty well. And then even before the games, I'll be like, I kind of like this guy to score anymore. I kind of like this guy. And then it works out. So it's like, all right, maybe I shouldn't just give out 1,500 names and try to go 1-3 every game. But sometimes it's what you got to do. But yeah, like I said, I don't know really, Pat, who I want to take in this game. I lean Justin Jefferson, but scoring-wise, Evan Ingram maybe for the Jags. Aaron Jones for Vikings might not be a bad one either. Might lean him. I would just look back. I'm going to probably, the way I'm going to handicap this when it comes to that is I'm just going to look back at some of the teams that the Jags have recently played and just look up, like, all right, who's scoring against them position-wise? So, like, for example, in the Eagles, Saquon scored twice, so it's like, all right, running back, keep that in mind. Patriots, Ramondre Stevenson, running back. Okay, keep that in mind. Bears, Cole Kmet got a lot of touchdowns. There was a running back late. So far, against the Colts, so it's looking like running back tight end might be the combo. So we're going to keep that in mind. TJ Hawkinson, maybe. But yeah, past the -4.5 on the bike and some Justin Jefferson stuff so far. I don't know what else I really like in this game, so we're going to probably take a side steep on that one. Chiefs -8.5. We're going to write in red, but they just seem to never cover. NBA Jam for our boy Kareem Hunt. So Kareem Hunt, anytime touchdown, put it back on the board. So we're going to go, we got Hunt TD. I'm going to do probably some D-Hop receiving stats. I genuinely think D-Hop's probably going to become, not the full Rashee Rice rule, but I think he's going to slowly evolve into that where he becomes his favorite target. So we're going to take advantage of the DeAndre Hopkins props being as low as they are. So we're going to take his over on receptions probably and his receiving yards. Because remember, we can't see the full stats just yet. But I'm assuming they're going to be around the 40, 50, 60 range. Probably the 40, 50 range, which is the case. And reception-wise, he'll probably get like 4.5, 5, which I really do like. Sorry about that. I just couldn't spell for a second. But yeah, so we're going to look at some DeAndre Hopkins stats as well. Kelsey's been balling out. So that's another guy to look to. But it's basically going to be, that's going to be the trifecta for me now every week. I think for them, we're going to go Hunt, Hopkins stuff, and Travis Kelce stuff, at least until they get some weapons back. Because, like, once Pacheco comes back, he might be an option. Xavier Worthy, he's been frustrating, so there's no... Xavier Worthy, I think, has 1 or 2 less receptions than Adonai Mitchell, and you just heard what I said about him, so... As a guy who's had Xavier Worthy in fantasy, week 1 was fun, but past that, it's been a little bit frustrating. So yeah, we're just probably going to stick with Kareem Hunt, anytime touchdown, DeAndre Hopkins stuff, and then when it comes to the Broncos, watch and see. The running back room's been frustrating because Javonte Williams hasn't been the best. Jaleel McLaughlin has been here and there, and Audric Estime's just had the fumble issues. So if anything, we're probably going to take some Cortland Sutton stuff, but they might try to take him away. So Troy Franklin, that's another guy we're gonna write that in red, but it's probably going to be something I'm going to be interested in doing. Is a Troy Franklin. We're going to look at his stats. If they're within reason, we'll probably take him. Like, I'm talking, if he has, like, about 40 to 45 yards, 2-3 receptions. Like, if the numbers are around there, I'm for sure going to take it because I do think he's starting to become... I mean, I feel like I've watched the TV now so many times and we're seeing Bo Nix target him. So it's like, okay. Yeah. It's like, all right, so he's starting to get a little bit more in the offense. Okay, sweet. Oh, they're using him more. Sweet. Oh, he's going to even use more. Sweet. And it's just... He's been pretty good for them, I'll admit. So, just to give you some stats, I guess. I should probably back it up, shouldn't I? That boy, Troy Franklin. So, I might have lied. No, but if you look at his... since October 13th, he had 2 for 31 touchdown, 5 for 50, and he had 1 for 6, 1 for 19 these last 2 weeks. I don't know what that was about. They played Carolina. So that one, I'm not going to chalk up too much to him. And the ball, to be fair, these last 2 games have been kind of scripted out of control where, like, for example, they played Carolina. He gets 1 reception for 6 yards. They went 28-14. Sean Payton's not really focused on that too much. And then there's 1 for 19. So I get, like I said, if his stuff is low enough within reason, I do think he's going to get about, like, 3 to 4 receptions for about 40-ish yards. So that's where I'm going to be looking at for him. Maybe even take him to score a little bit because he has been targeted a lot in the end zone. That's the thing, is he's only having like these 1-2 receptions, but at least once or twice a game he's getting an end zone target. Falcons, 3.5-point favorites. Like I said, fuck, man, I don't want to do this, but we got to new coach theory. So we're going to take Saints plus 3.5. Simply for the new coach theory, I really do like the Falcons in this game, though. I think if anything, this is going to be a high-scoring shootout or back and forth affair. Even if it's not just going to be a back and forth affair where the team who has the ball last is probably going to win it. That's at least how I think the game should go. Now, the Saints would be the one team that just completely blows up the new coach theory. But I think that they have their special teams coach, I believe, who is the new interim coach. And from things I've read and heard about him, I think they're going to play pretty hard for him. And even regardless, I think they're going to play pretty hard for themselves because they lost bad to the Panthers. So, yeah, I think there's going to be a little bit of bounce back for the Saints. I don't think I'm going to take any props in this game. Probably just watch live. Drake London's day-to-day, so that changes the complete variance of their offense when it comes receiver-wise. Because I could change what Mooney gets. I could change what Pitt gets. As for the Saints, I just don't think I want to bet anybody on them. Probably bet Taysom Hill, Alvin Kamara. Maybe sprinkle some Juwan Johnson stuff because they're going to be so low stuff. But, yeah, I only got the Saints plus 3.5 for the new coach theory. Past that, probably take Taysom Hill to score. I don't know who I want to take running back wise, but I do add that. I do want to add that, I should say. Taysom Hill TD, I do like that. I don't know what the odds are. Like I said, we'll figure it out. But I do think he's going to probably score some gadget-type touchdown this week again. Especially, that's going to be interesting, though. Now, the new coach being there, I think we'll still use him. But it's going to be interesting to see how he gets used now that Dennis Allen, who loved Taysom Hill to death, is not there anymore. So moving on. So we got 49ers 5.5-point favorites over the Bucks. Am I crazy for one to take Bucks plus 5.5? We're going to write in red. I don't know if we're going to for sure take it. But, or at least write it in red to think about it. Cade Otton. We're going to take a lot of Cade Otton stuff. We're going to do his receiving over and his reception over again. Until Mike Evans comes back, Cade Otton is one of their best, if not their best pass catcher. Simply put, I mean, shit, I was so confident in his reception over. I saw it at 6.5. It's like, nah, he's getting 8 or 9. And he, sure enough, did that. And he hit the over for us last week. Clean sweep on his stats. He even hit a touchdown. The perfect trifecta. Okay, so this is in Baltimore, so I think this is the week after all. I think New Orleans is when all the injuries happened to Mike Evans and all them, but if not, I'm pretty sure it happened either that game. It either happened that game or it happened during his next game, but this is since October 21st when both of them have been out. 8 for 100. 8 receptions for 100. And I was going to read the targets, but I don't have the targets right there, so... Oh, here we go. They actually... Oh, never mind. They don't. I thought they did. Never mind. Ignore that. So, yeah, like I said, 8 for 100 yards. Next game, 9 for 81. Next game, and 2 touchdowns. Excuse me, 9 for 81 and 2 touchdowns on National Tight End Day, I believe. And then next game, 8 for 77 and 1 touchdown. So, I mean, he's been getting, 8, 9, 8. So you can look for him to get about 6. I like to put it down like 1 or 2. So we'll go 6 to 8 receptions. But I honestly think, and then, sorry, I have like 5 things going on in my mind at once. So yeah, I think about 6 to 8 receptions. And yardage wise, I'm going to look for him to get about 60 to 70. That's where I think he's going to be at. Because like I said, I think he's their main pass catching option, and he's pretty damn good. They seemingly forget about him until situations like this happen, and all of a sudden he shows up. It's like, holy shit, Kate Otton's pretty good. But yeah, past that, probably not going to take anything else in the Bucks. And then 49ers wise, I want to bet Christian McCaffrey to score a touchdown, so we might just do that. And then past that, I'm just going to watch to see how this team looks with Christian McCaffrey back, because it could be a completely different team. And that's just going to be the exciting part of it. I just simply am going to, this is going to be a live betting game. Live betting game for me for sure. 49ers for sure, one of those teams where Brock Purdy spreads it out way too much for me to take anybody's props pregame, unless it's a touchdown wise. Then for the Bucks, I'm just curious to watch how they play. And also, we're going to do the Baker Mayfield rush. Rushing over, depending on whatever that is. If it's under 14 again, I like the 14 number. If it's anything above 14 yards, I'm not going to take it. But under 14 yards, we're taking Baker's rushing over. Might even take Brock Purdy's rushing over as well, because them boys like to scoot a little bit. Commanders, 2.5-point favorites over the Steelers. We will take that. This is going to be a fun-ass game, man. We'll take that, and then past that, I'm actually not going to take any other... probably not taking any props in this game. I think this is going to be a really fun game to watch. Excited to see how it just looks overall. And another live betting game. Obviously, check out Stay On Sports if I find something over the weekend that I love. But I like to, just off the top of my head, based on some of my numbers, it's like maybe some Terry McLaurin stuff. But Brian Robinson's dealing with injuries, so that just destroys the running back room when it comes to props, because that's... I don't know. They also give the ball to 3 guys, so I don't want to take any running back stuff. Probably take some Terry McLaurin stuff. Jaden Daniels... Seemingly, that's his main target, so I'm going to take anything, probably some Terry McLaurin stuff, but even then, they might hype the number up too much. I just think these are... And then, when it comes to Steelers, rush I don't want to bet anybody on the offense. Maybe bet some Najee stuff. I do think... Najee might be on an NBA Jam. We might actually... That might actually be something that needs to happen. I totally forgot about the Najee Harris stuff. Yeah, he's rushed for 103 games in a row. That's on an NBA Jam, and he scored a touchdown in 2 of those 3 games, so... We're going to take Najee's rush over... And we might even take him for 100-plus yards. We're going to write that as a note, but I don't know. The Commanders' defense has been a little bit stout lately. Chargers, 7.5-point favorites. It's for sure going to be a tease team, but we're going to take the Chargers minus 7.5. We aren't going to be scared. Their defense is balling out lately. I think there's a good chance they play really good in this game, and they play similar to how they did against... I think it's going to be a similar game to the Browns. J.K. Dobbins, anytime touchdown, we like him. And then for me, it's going to be Ladd McConkey or Quentin Johnson. Pick whoever you want. I'm probably going to take all 3 of these guys in this game to score. And then when it comes to the Titans, the only reason I'm going to take all 3 is because I don't know who's going to be... I don't know who L'Jarius Sneed's going to be on. I would assume it's Quentin Johnson, which is the case. I might go to Ladd, but assuming he moves around a bit on either of those 2 guys, I'm going to like the option for either of them to score. Will Dissly stats might be bad. I'm not betting on the Chargers. So this line is flipped now. Jets, minus 1.5 favorites. Jets were dogs at one point. Like I said, I do think the Jets are going to win. I like, sorry, Rowan. Rowan sent me a text about something, so I got caught up reading that. But I like Jets minus 1.5. I do think Jets, I'm just probably going to, fuck it. I don't know why I'm taking the minus 1.5. Jets minus 112 on the money line. Let's just not even worry about the minus 1.5 points or anything. I just think the Jets are going to get stuff rolling. I just like the way they've been looking lately. I'm excited to see how this game's going to go, because they might be able to put up some points, hopefully, in this game. Cardinals' defense has been good, not great in points. Like last week against the Bears, it looked amazing. So we're going to, for me, it's like Breece Hall. We're going to look at him. Devontae Adams, obviously. James Conner, those are going to be the guys I'm kind of looking at, some of their stats. Who else? Marvin Harrison, probably stay away from this one because of Sauce Gardner being on him. So, like I said, that would change to maybe Greg Dortch. Ooh, Dortch stats might not be bad this game because of that. I don't know. This is going to be a fun football game. I don't know prop-wise. Like I said, this is one of those weeks, too, prop-wise, with some of these games. It's just like, I'm not I'm not feeling like pushing any props. We've had a pretty good season. We've made a good amount of money this year. I mean, shit, with the Nasty Boys, we're up $500 alone, let alone all the positive to, like, barely under 500 records we have for a lot of stuff. So, like, we're sitting pretty. I don't need to ruin it forcing stuff that I'm not fully for sure on. Eagles, -7.5, or -7. We're going to take the Eagles -7. Just simply for the fact that they don't have their starter playing. We're going to look for the I guess it's only the duo this time because he might be hurt. But Hurts TD, Barkley TD, and we're going to have to wait to see what happens with A.J. Brown. But if A.J. Brown plays, I like some of his stats. He's dealing with a knee issue. They're saying it's very similar to what happened with DK Metcalf. So it could be one of these things where it's like, oh, his knee's fine, he'll be back in a week. And 2 weeks later, he's still dealing with the issue. Or genuinely might be back this week. But we'll have to wait and see. Thankfully, he avoided a major injury, it sounds like. But yeah, I'm taking those two guys, and then past that, it's a decision between Devontae Smith or Dallas Goedert. But yeah, like I said, we don't need to push that. Might as well let it be. All right, moving on. We're taking a minute. Lions -3.5 against. Oh, we're on the last 2 games. That's why I'd be like, damn, we're going forever on this. It's like, oh yeah, because we're right at the end. Lions -3.5. Probably just put them in the tees, but I'm gonna stay away from that. Jahmyr Gibbs. Obviously, we're gonna actually do that. And Jahmyr Gibbs, we're gonna take his rushing over because that's been doing us really, really well. I think he's still on an NBA jam for that. We're gonna take TD as well, and then we're gonna take Monty to score a touchdown as well. And then past that, I almost forgot. Remember, Amon-Ra. He is about to set the franchise record. He's tied the franchise record. He set the franchise record for most consecutive touchdowns. I don't know if that's like by a receiver or if that's just for their franchise in general. But if he gets one more, he's passing the record. Look for Amon-Ra to pass it. That's my favorite bet probably of the damn near weekend. Because I'm fairly confident they're going to go out of their way to get their boy a touchdown. Dolphins, 1.5-point dogs to the Rams on Monday night. No reason to talk about this too much bet-wise because this one, premium access. Just kidding. Please check out my article on Stare Down Sports. I'm gonna have to wait and see because obviously injuries might change up some stuff. But yeah, overall, I think the Rams might win this game. We're gonna probably take Kyren Williams to score. I don't think he scored last week, breaking his streak, which sucks. But I think they're gonna probably bounce back to him a little bit this week. He's been a great runner for them. And then pass-wise, I don't know. This is going to be a fun game. Probably take some HM stuff as well. But like I said, check out my article Monday on Stare Down Sports, and we'll definitely give out some of the stuff there. So that does it for NFL. We'll quickly rush over some of these bets. So maybe take Bengals 6.5. For sure taking Derrick Henry anytime touchdown. Jamar Chase anytime touchdown. Jamar Chase receiving over. Both QBs over 1.5 passing touchdowns. That's Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow. Mike Gesicki over 49.5 receiving yards. Jamar Chase over 6.5 reception. Bryce Young over a half passing touchdown. Basically, Bryce Young threw 1 passing touchdown. We're taking that. We're maybe thinking about Patriots plus 6.5 with Drake Mays rushing over. In that game, we're thinking about Hunter Kmet, Cole Henry, maybe touchdowns. Colts plus 4.5 with JT rushing props and a touchdown. We're taking Vikings minus 4.5 as well. Kareem Hunt anytime touchdown. We're taking DeAndre Hopkins receiving over and his receptions over. We're taking the Saints plus 3.5 with a Taysom Hill touchdown as well. We're going to take the Commies minus 2.5, the Commanders. Najee rushing over because that's on an NBA jam. We're taking over 100-plus rushing yards because that's hit 3 games in a row as well. Chargers minus 7.5. J.K. Dobbins anytime touchdown. Lab McConkey or Quentin Johnson anytime touchdown. Jets money line. Breece Hall, Devontae Adams, James Conner, looking at all them for stats and touchdowns. Those are going to be some of the bets we're looking at there. Eagles minus 7.5. Hurts anytime touchdown. Saquon Barkley anytime touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs rushing over and anytime touchdown. Then Monty touchdown. Then our boy Amon-Ra to set the franchise record. Anytime touchdown. And then for like I said, for the maybes, we're thinking maybe Pats plus 6.5. Maybe May rushing over. Maybe Hunter Henry, Cole Kmet. Maybe Bengals 6.5, maybe Chiefs 8.5, maybe Troy Franklin touchdown, maybe Bucks 5.5. We're for sure taking Cade Otton's receiving over and receptions. I forgot to add that in there. For sure taking Cade Otton's receiving over and receptions. Might take a CMC touchdown that game. And yeah, that's going to do it. So without any further ado now, time to talk college. We're basically just going to run through all these games because I already know what games I want to bet, but we're just going to talk about some of these spreads as I go. Ohio, 20 points over. No, not that one. Northern Illinois, 2.5-point favorites over Western Michigan. That should be a fun one. We're going to probably take ECU minus 7.5. So, yeah, actually, let's start our college bet. So, we got ECU minus 7.5. Like I said, we talked about this 2 weeks ago. They got a new coach. So, in their easy point in their schedule, they're probably going to put together a few wins. Cal, 7.5 point favorites over Wake Forest. That's interesting. That might be a fun teaser game for college football. Iowa minus 5.5 over UCLA. We're for sure taking that. Only if I'm gonna write a thing. Only if McNamara's out. If Cade's playing, I'm not touching a single Iowa game the rest of the year. I'm over that guy. Put in Brendan Sullivan. Moving on. Rice 9.5 point dogs in Memphis. We're done. We aren't touching Memphis the rest of this year. San Diego State 2.5 points over New Mexico. That's just gonna be a fun game. I got nothing there for you. Ooh, Boston College Syracuse. Might as well be a pick on minus 125 for Boston College. I don't know. That's a tough one. Probably staying away from that. Texas 21.5 favorites over Florida. Feels like a lot of points, but I mainly want to bet Florida because I know Quinn Williams. Excuse me, Jesus Christ, Quinn Ewers. Wow, Quinn Ewers. I kind of want to fade him, but that Texas defense is pretty stout. Probably gonna stay away from that. Purdue 37.5 point dogs to Ohio State. This is simply a wouldn't it be funny bet. I'm writing this, and I wish I could have like blood ready and get this point. We're going to write PU even. I'm not even going to write Purdue. We're going to 37.5 wouldn't it be funny. Just keep an eye on that. I don't think that's really going to happen. Minnesota minus 6.5 over Rutgers. Probably a good one. I don't think I can get myself to take it. Navy 2.5 favorites over South Florida. Shouldn't be too bad. I mean, shit. Georgia Tech is 10.5 point dogs to Miami, the U. I'm tempted to take that, but oh man, the fact that Miami was down for most of the game against Duke and then just covers at the end makes me just want to stay away from them. Probably just bet some Xavier Restrepo stuff, maybe some Cam Ward stuff. West Virginia 4.5 point dogs to Cincinnati. We're gonna write that one in red. I don't know though. That's like super reach, and that's. Yeah, I don't know if I want to bet on West Virginia, but 4.5, I kind of like the number. That's the main reason. Not a team play, but number play. UConn my 6.5, like that one a lot. Not been impressed too much by UAB this year, especially I don't know how much they want Trent Dilfer there anymore. I don't know how hard they're playing for the coach. Let's just be real. This was the team I told you was on Quit Watch a few weeks ago. Still seemingly is the case. I mean, I can just read you some scores real quick. We don't got to go too long on this. They lost. Actually, they beat Tulsa 59-21. But Tulsa, let's be honest, Tulsa's a very similar team to them. But yeah, past that, I mean, Army beat them. South Florida 35-25 was the score they lost there. Army beat them 41-10. They lost 71-20 to Tulane. So yeah, I like UConn. If it's a team that at least has a pulse or is at least somewhat pretty decent to good, they blew them out. So I like that. We're gonna go there with UConn minus 6.5. Nothing on Marshall. Clemson 6.5 point favorites over Virginia Tech. I just want to stay the hell away from that. Duke 3.5 to NC State. That just feels weird. We're gonna stay away from that. Georgia 2.5 over Ole Miss. We're under maybe. Georgia Ole Miss under might be a play. Maybe I just go actually. I might lean the over. I'm writing this in red. I don't lean the under. Actually, I think I kind of lean the over, but man, I don't know. I'm just probably gonna end up staying away from this game. It's at 3:30. Ole Miss fighting for the playoff livelihood. If they lose that game, probably zero chance of making the college football playoff, and they're just playing a bowl game. Iowa State minus 2.5 over Kansas. That feels fishy as shit. So we're gonna bet it. Iowa State minus 2 feels really low. Especially in an NFL stadium that's not going to be nearly as full because Kansas has not been the best this year. That just feels super fishy. We're going to take Iowa State minus 2.5, though. I don't get why that's so low. We're going to Army. We're going to take them as well, minus 5.5. This number would be a lot higher if Bryson Daly was playing. I'm assuming he might be out again this game. I haven't heard. The fact that the coach said we expect him back soon and he's not going out injury, it's like you usually don't say. You would say next game. You wouldn't say soon. But never mind. If they say he's likely to play Saturday, somewhere between questionable and probable is what's coming out. You know how it is with college. They hide this shit so much. We're going to take the 5.5 in the hopes that he plays, and if he doesn't play, I still, I mean, 5.5 is still pretty small for Army. I think they could probably get it done. But if he does play, I love the 5.5 even more. Man, this number moved in my favor a little bit. That sucks because I bet it ahead of time. Give me the wagon, baby. IU minus 13.5. Lamar Jackson, by the way, off the injury report, will play. Isaiah Likely is out. T. Higgins is doubtful. That's an update for the Bengals game. Ooh, interesting. But yeah, no, give me IU minus 13.5 over Michigan. They covered in every game for us this year. I think they're going to win this game. I'll admit, this is probably the first game all year where behind Nebraska. Nebraska, I thought, kind of scared me, but hindsight, even then, I'm like, I don't know. I probably should be fine. This is the first one I'll admit, just because it's a bigger number. Kind of scared of. Their first big 13.5. I mean, offensively, I don't know how Michigan keeps up. They've been having offensive issues all year, and if Indiana can do what they've done all season, 13.5 shouldn't be an issue. San Jose, 2.5-point dogs. Oregon State, staying away from that. Kennesaw, UTEP, no. Tulane, 26.5 over Temple, tempting. We're going to write it down. Why not? Tulane minus 26.5, probably sprinkle that, but I don't know. We'll probably end up laying off. Colorado, that one's in red. This one's not, though. Colorado, minus 3.5. The hook going to be a motherfucker, potentially, but I do like Colorado to win this game. They're going to be favored in every game, probably for the rest of the season, and Texas Tech coming off a huge win, now coming back home. This is going to be a massive game. Colorado needs to show up and play for this game, because I know Texas Tech is probably going to be ready. Give me Vandy plus 3.5. I just like the hook here. South Carolina coming off an impressive game against the Texas A&M. They kind of embarrassed Texas A&M a little bit. As long as Diego Pavia is healthy, I like Vanderbilt to be able to keep this game close at least. And South Carolina, their offense is going to come down to Lenore Sellers. If he's able to play like he did last game, I'm definitely going to be a little bit nervous about this number. Lenoris, excuse me. Lenoris. I said Lenore. Lenoris, excuse me. But if he's able to play like he did against Texas A&M, we're going to be in trouble. But because I mean that guy against Texas A&M was like, oh holy shit, okay. So but like I said, Vandy's a dog again. Vandy's been good to us this year. I like Vandy at the 3.5, and I like getting the hook because at worst, if they lose by a field goal, hey, and it's a home dog. We're getting a home dog at 3.5. Thank you. Jacksonville State minus 9.5. We're taking them as well. They're playing a not so good La Tech team, so 9.5 feels like they can win that game by 10. Arkansas State staying away from that one. Western Kentucky 18.5, tempting, staying away. Oregon 24.5 over Maryland. We're gonna write it down. They probably should win this game, but I mean, they're gonna win. Let's be real. They're gonna win this game. They probably should cover, and they probably will cover. So, yeah, I like that there. I like Oregon to win that game, and I like them to cover. I mean, they've covered all season. They've looked great. I don't think I need to give it any other reason. Oklahoma State, nope. UCF, Arizona State. 2.5. That's going to be a great game, I feel like. That's going to be a fun game to keep an eye on. We're going to keep an eye on Arizona State there, potentially. Tennessee, no. Alabama, LSU. I don't have anything in this game. I do semi-lean Alabama, though. But this is another game that's for the playoff livelihoods. I don't see a 3-loss team getting in. And if they do, there's going to be a lot of outrage, especially for at least this year. So, yeah. LSU, Alabama, I got really nothing there. That's going to just be an awesome game to watch 7:30. Notre Dame. 25, that's 5.5. No, don't got anything there. We are going to take Boise. That was the game I want to get to. Boise minus 24.5. I like them to cover in this game. Sorry, I accidentally wrote off my paper. Washington 13.5-point dogs at Penn State. This is going to be a whiteout game. Ooh, that's going to be interesting to watch. That's going to be a fun game. Pitt 7.5-point, nothing there. Nothing there. UNLV minus 13.5, tempting. We'll write it in red maybe, but I probably, at this point, that's going to be one of those ones. If we're at massive on the day, I'll take UNLV, but I'm pretty good with the slate we got. BYU minus 3.5 against Utah. That's a trap game. So we're going to write that one in red, but that's going to be an awesome game to keep an eye on for. Best case scenario, we bet BYU, or best case scenario, they lose and it would help our Colorado futures. If not, we might win some money with them. Utah State, Washington, nothing there. And then that will do it for the week. So real quickly, go over my bets again. These are all for sure. ECU minus 7.5. UConn minus 6.5. Iowa State minus 2.5. Army minus 5.5. IU minus 13.5. Tulane minus 26.5. Colorado minus 3.5. Vandy plus 3.5. You hear them dogs barking. Vandy plus 3.5. Jack State minus 9.5. Oregon minus 24.5. Boise State minus 24.5. And these are all maybes. Georgia, Ole Miss over. Purdue, don't do that one. Actually, I don't even know why I brought that one back up. UNLV minus 13.5. BYU minus 3.5 for the maybes. Man, thank you all for watching today's report. Really do appreciate it. Going to be a fun week in the sports. Be on the lookout. I'm going to be having some basketball talk upcoming here soon because obviously football's getting close to ending, so we're going to have some basketball to talk about. And my boy Rowan's going to be on. I have one of my buddies from college I'm going to have. He follows the NBA a lot more than I do, and I trust a lot what he has to say on it. So we're going to have my boy on. We're going to obviously pump the brakes on that because that was supposed to be a surprise. But we have one of my boys coming on to talk NBA here soon to basically talk about the first month of the season, what's kind of going on there. But yeah, we still got a lot of football. Great season. So far, going to be fun. Like I said, we're reaching over the halfway point in the NFL, and for college football, it's coming down to it. We were really long today, so I'll talk about the college football playoffs next Tuesday a little bit because honestly, there's no reason to go over the first one. I'll just read some of the teams, but that's about it. Because past that, yeah, I just don't think we really need to. I don't think we really need to go over too much. There's some over. I'll just talk about real quick. Just the teams I like. Call it. Maybe we should just save it. For 12-team playoffs, so like I said, Oregon's 1 seed, Ohio State 2 seed, Georgia 3 seed, Miami 4 seed, Texas 5 seed, Penn State 6, Tennessee 7, Indiana 8. A lot of people complained about that. BYU 9, Notre Dame 10. But BYU would get the automatic bid. And then Notre Dame would be 10 seed, Alabama 11, 12 seeds Boise. Just out is SMU and Texas A&M. So like I said, there's going to be some change up this weekend. So just remember those teams in mind when you're watching football this weekend and just know, like, chaos is coming. Thank you for watching. Thanks for the report. Really do appreciate it. I'll see everyone back in this feed on Tuesday to go over the reactions to everything that happened. And if you want to hear me give out these bets again, talk a little bit more football, appearing on my boys' show tomorrow, Rowan, Captain by a Hook, have it in the description. But like I said, thank you all for watching. Thanks for the support. I've held everyone here long enough. Let's have a damn weekend. I'll see everyone back on Tuesday for some more football.